Hello everyone, I'm Pedro, I'm a senior product content specialist here at GetResponse and I'll be your guide for this video. I know it can be quite hard when you're getting started, especially if you don't know how GetResponse can help you. But worry not, that's why I'm here and I will walk you through the platform and you'll see exactly what you can do with GetResponse, and the best part is you have a free plan that is free forever. And if you don't have a business idea yet and you are struggling with some ideas, perhaps think of a skill that you can teach, how to play guitar, how to teach a particular language, or perhaps you would like to teach GetResponse like myself. The possibilities are endless here, from digital to physical. It's all up to you. By the end of this video, you'll have a published website, you will know how to send a newsletter, you'll be able to configure autoresponders, segment your contacts, grow your list, and in general, this means that you'll be growing your business without spending a single penny. Here we are at the dashboard, and this is the first page that you will see when you log in. From the dashboard, you will most likely notice the widgets first, and these are used to get quick access to your favorite tools and keep track of different metrics at a glance, as newsletters performance, contact signups, and even store revenue if you get access to premium features, and many more. Following from the left, you can see tools and your 3 favorite ones next to it. When clicking on tools, you'll see all the features GetResponse offers, plus you can customize your favorites that will be displayed at the top. This will certainly save you a lot of time. Moving on to the right, we have the interactive guides, and this is where you'll be able to get assistance with particular tasks, as for example creating a website, or simply learning how to create and send your first email. There will be clues along the way as you click. And if you prefer to watch a video, we've got you covered as well. Just click Watch and Learn. You will then see a little bell, very important as this is one of the places where we communicate with you about important updates and new features launched in GetResponse. You also have access to our roadmap and can even make your own feature requests. Right next to it, you'll find a way to contact us via email and most importantly via live chat, which is open 24/7. Just remember that the live chat is a premium feature. Lastly, you can click on the profile icon, and here is where you can manage your account details, change password, add an email address that can be used for sending newsletters, and more. Now that you know most about the dashboard, let's start by building a website for your business. Before we jump into it, if you already have a website and are looking now for a way to gather subscribers, you can skip this section and head to forms and pop-ups. Creating a website is no longer something that has to be difficult or expensive. With GetResponse, we give you the chance to have a website for free, plus there are no complications with code. Everything will be done with our drag and drop editor. When clicking on the button to create a website, you will be presented with a few options. You either start with a template designed by our professionals or use our AI builder. In this video, we will use the AI builder and you will see how fast it is to get a website online. You will be presented with 2 questions at first. As we will be running a language school, we will write education on the first question and selecting it at the bottom as well. As you can see, there are more options and each of them have a little explanation attached. Make sure to pick the most suitable for your business. You will then see AI recommendations. Some of them are locked as we are on a free account, but getting access to premium features would unlock one of the recommendations here, which is the integrated live chat. If the feature is colored and you click on it, it will become gray, meaning that it won't be added to the website and vice versa. It is also important to make a distinction here from contact form and sign up form, as the former is used to send a message, meaning that people will use it to contact you, and the latter is used to gather subscribers. By clicking on Next Step, you will be able to see the color scheme suggested by the AI. These are the colors that will apply to your website. It is also possible to use the color scheme from a specific website. You can type it here on the right, or even import your logo, and our AI will suggest matching colors. Once you are ready, simply press Next Step, add your company details as they will be shown on your contact page, and then let the AI do its magic. You will then get 3 website suggestions, and they can all be previewed before using. When you are sure about the one that you want to pick, press Use this design. Now we are in the website editor, and let's see how we can navigate. Starting from the top left, you can go back and forward in history, save the page, navigate through the website's pages, preview both on desktop and mobile, while applying changes to the mobile version that won't affect the desktop. Save and exit, and finally, if you press next, you'll be taken to the next steps of the website configuration. On the right, you'll be able to manage your pages, including add a new page, delete, duplicate, edit the settings, and more. Below it, you will find the global design, and as the name indicates, this option is used to influence the design across the whole website, as we are showcasing right here. Lastly, you can easily add elements by just dragging and dropping. You can add a video, an image, a button, and others. We will be adding a sign-up form to showcase, as you need to make sure your website includes one in a visible place, as this is what will help you grow your contacts list. To change the text, it is quite easy, just click on it and write your own. When clicking, all the settings can be found on the right, and this will apply to any block that you click on. You can change colors, font, hyperlink, and even hide this specific block for people viewing your page on a mobile device. Now that you have the backbone of the website, what you need to do is to make your own changes, adapt the text, remove things that you don't need, and add things that you might need as a live chat, for example. Once ready, simply press Next at the top. Here is where we will pick the website's name and URL. There are different domains that you can pick from, and they are free to use. In case you would like to purchase your own domain with GetResponse, you will need to acquire a paid plan, as it is necessary to have a credit card attached to your account. If you already own a domain and would like to learn how you can connect it to your website, simply go to the interactive guides that we mentioned before, and you'll find a video explaining it in detail. Once you are ready, simply hit Publish, and now your business is online. You can share the website URL with other people, and they will be able to sign up to your contacts list. In case you want to check the settings, just go to the right and select Edit Site Settings. You can always edit the website's name, integrate with Google Analytics for advanced metrics, or even enable live chat, the latter being a premium feature. Let's now move back to the dashboard. From here, we will head to Forms and Pop-ups, and this section is aimed at those of you who already have a website outside GetResponse. By placing a pop-up on your website with a sign-up form, people will be able to subscribe and be added to your contacts list in GetResponse. In addition, when setting proper rules that we will see ahead, you can recover abandoned carts, collect feedback, offer discounts, or even recommend products based on the page people are browsing at a certain time. Having said that, let's now go ahead and click to create. We will be choosing pop-up here, and the process of creation will be exactly the same for the embedded forms, and I'll explain the main difference in a moment. Now, you can either choose one of our professionally designed templates or start from a blank one. All templates have a goal in mind, as you can see here on the left. I'll select one that includes a sign-up form so that people can join my list. Similar to the website builder, we can preview the templates and then click to use the template when you find the one you want to use. Now we are in the pop-ups editor and let's see how we can navigate. Starting from the top left, you can go back and forward in history, save the page, navigate through the main content, which is the one on the screen right now, or to the thank you message, which will appear when someone subscribes through your form. Preview, both on desktop and mobile, while applying changes to the mobile version that won't affect the desktop. Save and exit. And finally, if you press next, you'll be taken to the next steps of the form's configuration. It is important to note that this editor is drag and drop. It's extremely easy to use, and if you already used any other editor in GetResponse, it will be exactly the same. On the right, you'll be able to edit the settings, as for example the type of pop-up and its position. Below, there's the option to add new elements, the ones that you will drag and drop. And here's an example on how you can add your social media icons to the pop-up. Similar to the website builder, when you click on any block, the settings of that block will appear on the right. Once you are happy with your pop-up, simply click Next at the top. You will then be presented with the display rules, and this allows you to decide when, how often, and for whom your pop-up will appear. First, what will trigger the pop-up? You can see all the options here, and to showcase it to you, I'll target people when they want to leave my page. Click to enable and save. Let's now choose how often the pop-up should appear. I will choose to display immediately. Set dates are specifically useful when running a promotion, as for example Black Friday. You can select the frequency, and also if you want to stop displaying it at some point or to keep showing it every time. I'll stop displaying it to visitors who've signed up or clicked the button. Lastly, we have the audience. I will leave it as it is, but you can target people from a specific country. This will be specifically useful if you run a promotion that will apply for specific countries. For example, if you offer free shipping only to a few. Now that we have all the rules, let's click Next. In this page, right at the top, you can set a name for your pop-up, and below it you can choose where the pop-up should be displayed. Either on the entire website, which in a real example that would be getresponse.com. The pop-up would then be displayed on all the pages of GetResponse's website, or you can choose specific pages, and here you would have to add something more particular as getresponse.com/blog. It's important to note that you can add more rules on both options. It's not limited to one page or website. So that you can see the pop-up in action, I'll place my WordPress page here, which is a testing page, but you will be able to see how the pop-up will display and how I will add the code to the website in a very easy way. For the next step now, where you see the code, I'll be clicking to copy it and I will head to WordPress. It's important to understand that you do not need WordPress. Any website platform that allows you to access the head of the page is all you need. Another thing is that you will only have to do this once, meaning that after we add this code to our website, if you create another pop-up, you won't need to add any other code. It will already display on your website based on the rules you've set. It's one code to rule them all. I moved now to WordPress, and what you need here is to go to Appearance, Theme File Editor, and on the right you will see an option similar to Theme Header. Might be under a different name for you, but it will still say Header. Don't get scared by the code here. All you need to do is to paste the pop-ups code in the head section. You can see here where it starts and where it ends. I'll paste it right here in the middle. And that's it. Let's now check my website. We now need to publish the pop-up, and then we will check how it is displayed on our website. As you can see, it behaves as we have said. Once I tried to leave the specific page, the pop-up was displayed. This is a great way to capture your visitors' attention. We have used it to gather our visitors' email, but you could use it to recommend similar products, recover abandoned carts, and more. Really, the possibilities here are endless. Heading now back to GetResponse and to touch base with you about the embedded forms, the main difference from a pop-up is that first, they are static, meaning that there are no rules to set. That kind of form would always be present on your website based on where you placed it. Secondly, they have a little code that has to be placed on your pages, and this other type of form would be embedded, as the name suggests. You would have to place this code on each page you want the form to appear. Let's now move back to the dashboard. Now that you have a website and can start acquiring some subscribers, let's see where these subscribers will land and how you can manage them. To do that, let's click on Contacts at the top. In this page, you will see all your lists, and by default you will have one already here. And when clicking on a list, you'll see its subscribers. It's basically your contact agenda or phone book. Creating a list is quite easy. You just have to click to create and you'll have to give it a name. You then should access the settings of the list and configure it. Remember that the list name will be visible to your contacts when they subscribe and unsubscribe. You should also give a title, can be the same as the list's name, and provide a description so that you can easily identify the purpose of that list. One thing that you really need to check here and change if necessary is the language and footer address. Both of these settings here will influence what will appear on the footer of your newsletters. We recommend keeping a valid postal address, as this influences deliverability and of course your credibility as well. We won't dive too deep on the other settings for now, but you can see that there are two other tabs at the top. Feel free to explore and configure according to your preferences. Just make sure you click to save at the bottom. We will now move forward and see how you can import your contacts. As many of you might already have quite a few, or perhaps you are migrating from another platform. It is quite simple. We need to click on Add Contacts, select the list where the imported contacts should be added to. We will talk about the autoresponder later, but if you already have one set, make sure to check this box. Now we have two options. You can add contacts manually, one by one, or you can import a file. You can see here that within importing there are also a few options, and they are all very easy. Upload a file, you can check the formats allowed, and a detailed guide below that you can check. Connect a service like Google Docs, or paste the details as mentioned here, separated by comma, or if you are migrating from one of our competitors, it is also quite easy, as you can select them and upload the file and we will match the formatting. You then have to pay attention to the three options below and choose the appropriate one. If you have no contacts in your account, add and updating existing or only add new will work for you. On the other hand, if you select only update existing and you don't have no contacts in GetResponse, then your import will fail as there was nothing to update. Make sure to check the permission. This is key here as it is required that you have consent in order to send marketing information to people. Let's now go back and see how you can check your contacts. Click on the list and then on any of the contacts. You will be taken to the contacts card, and here you can find the contacts activity, information, and you can even leave a note on their feed. Based on the contacts information and activity, you will then be able to segment them. Allow me to exemplify by searching for contacts that are from a specific country. In this case, you would select contact details, custom field, country is Portugal. That's just our example. You can manipulate the conditions here as you desire. There are many possibilities that you can explore. You can then save as a segment, which won't be possible right now as we are on a free account and this is a premium feature. But once you are ready to take your account to the next step, you will definitely want to start segmenting your contacts. Although, you can export these contacts in a file to your computer. For now, that's all you need to know about your contacts. Let's now see how you can contact them. Now you know how to build a website and also how to manage your contacts. But how do you communicate with them? Let's dive into that and see how you can send your contacts a newsletter. This is really important as sending a newsletter is a way of keeping your customers engaged and up to date, promote sales and events, and in general, it is a very cost-effective way to drive brand awareness. To send a newsletter, you simply click on Email Marketing at the top and click on Create Newsletter. You will then be presented with a newsletter's configuration page. And here, you should give your newsletter's name. No one else will be able to see this name, it's only for you. The linked list, make sure that you have the correct list linked here. As we mentioned in the previous section, the language of the footer and the postal address displayed will come from that list. In addition, when checking your reports, the newsletter will be under that list as well. From email address, this is simply the one that you will use to send the newsletter. And the reply to is the email address that will receive any reply from your contacts. Those two don't need to be equal. You then have the subject line, and this is what will hook your contacts to open your email. Should be something relevant that provides some value, extra points if you add some personalization. Here is how you would add it. Just select first name here, and then this field will be replaced by the contact's first name. In this example, we will send out an email to our English course students. The subject line will be 5 easy steps to learn English. I also like to use an emoji as it captures attention and leads to higher open rates. Just be mindful and don't overuse it. The preview text is an extension of the subject line, and here you can add a brief and catchy summary to encourage people to open your email. We will just paste our example here and you can have a look on what we have written. Now we have to select the recipients, or in other words, the contacts to whom this newsletter will be sent. Here you can select the whole list, pick each contact manually, or a segment. Remember that segmentation will be key to your business, as you will want to break your audience in pieces in order to send them the most relevant information possible. Once selected, simply click Add. There's also the possibility of excluding people from receiving this newsletter. Let's now move to Design and Content. Here you will see our professionally curated templates. We encourage you to use them as they are already optimized for conversion. We also keep adding new ones on a regular basis in order to help you out with the designing process. All of them can be previewed and you can change tabs and see your saved templates, blank templates, use the HTML editor, or even use any existing messages that you have sent or created in the past. Let's now pick one of the templates just to demonstrate how the newsletter editor actually works. We will pick this one over here, and as you may have guessed already, our newsletter editor is totally code-free, drag and drop, which means that you don't need any technical background to design a beautiful newsletter. The navigation in this editor is very similar to the other two we have covered, so there is no need to go too much in detail. But let's see here a few things. On the right, you have layout, and this is where you'll find the basic blocks to add, sections, and others. Next to layout, you will see message style. On this one, you can influence the message width, but make sure that you stay within the guidelines for optimal results. You can change the background color of the whole newsletter or add an image as its background if you prefer. And also, you can manage the header and footer. Now back to the layout. Here we will select the 4-column section just to showcase how you can use them to hyperlink to your website. Let's drag and drop it and then drag some text blocks as well. You can then adjust the padding to make it look a little nicer and then simply double click on top of the text to highlight it. Once you have highlighted it, you can click on the clip at the top. You'll see a few options here, but to keep it simple, let's select web address and add your website's URL here. I will add GetResponses as an example. Now, whoever clicks on this link will be redirected to your page. You can change the color of the whole section here, or perhaps add some borders as well. When you hover on a block, you can move this block somewhere else, save it to later find it and reuse it under My Blocks on the right. You can also duplicate this block or simply delete it. In case you would like to change an image, we have a free library of images that you can browse with more than 2 million to choose from. Important to remember that as you click on any block, you'll be able to edit its settings here on the right. Once you feel like you've got it, we recommend that you test your message by sending it to yourself, preview it, and you can always spam check as well. While previewing, one useful thing here is to see how the newsletter looks on dark mode. It is a premium feature, but you can see on the screen how it would look like. Now that we are ready, let's simply click Next. Now we are back at the configuration page, and here you can see that we track link clicks by default. We do that so that you can analyze the click rate of this newsletter later on. You can enable e-commerce tracking, a little more advanced, but you can click on this URL here and read on our FAQ about it. And also, if you have Google Analytics installed on your website, you can enable it to track link clicks as well. The most important part now is the sending of the newsletter, and you can see that we have here two options. Send immediately, pretty self-explanatory, but you can enable perfect timing so that we send the newsletter to your contacts at the time that they are most likely to open it based on the data that we have. Or you can schedule the newsletter for later, meaning that it would be sent at a specific time and date you select. This option has an additional feature called time travel, which enables you to select 7 AM here, and everyone, independent of their time zone, would receive this message at 7 AM on their local time. We will just click to send immediately now so that you can see how it looks like. As you could see, it was very simple. If you don't do anything now, the newsletter will be sent in the next 60 seconds. And in case you wish to stop it, simply go to Manage Newsletters and then hover the cursor over the 3 vertical dots and click Stop Sending. Now that you know how to communicate with your subscribers, let's now move into the dashboard and explore how you can send a message automatically to welcome your subscribers. Now we will head to autoresponders, and this is a very useful tool as a message can be sent automatically once someone subscribes. It is very similar to newsletters considering the way you create them, and there is only one major difference here in the settings. You can see here that we can pick a day. And what does that mean exactly? Day 0 here means the same day as subscription, and day 1 would be 1 day after subscription, and so forth. If you select day 0 and same time as sign up, a message would be sent immediately to the person who subscribed. On the other hand, if you select day 1, the message would be sent 1 day after the subscription. Just make sure that you've selected the correct list at the top, as this autoresponder will only work for the list selected. And here's the thing, autoresponders are always triggered by a subscription and will be sent automatically. On the other hand, a newsletter is sent manually. There are many use cases for autoresponders, but the most common example is to set up a welcome message, which is what we will do here. Statistically, welcome messages have the highest open rate of all messages you will ever send, simply because people are expecting them. Offering a discount with a promo code would certainly be a great way to welcome your new subscribers. And this can be done easily by selecting one of the templates like I did here with a promo code already, or you can simply drag and drop it from the right. Once everything is ready, you will have to click Next, and then Save and Publish at the bottom. But as this is a premium feature, just click Save. The important part here is that you have it set up, so that you waste no time once you acquire a paid plan. You will then be able to see your autoresponder here, and you will also be able to change the view to a grid. Once you change to a grid view, you will be able to see your autoresponder organized by day. And also you'll be able to select the list here so that the autoresponder will be shown based on the list that you have created them. This would be perfect in order to get a bird's eye view on your autoresponder sequence, especially when you have a few and want to optimize your sequence. You could, for example, design a whole course to be delivered on a specific day of the sequence just by clicking on the day here. And that's why the grid is so useful. It allows you to get this overview of the whole sequence. Now that you know how to set up an autoresponder, let's go back to the dashboard and then we will see where and how you can analyze the performance of your messages. From here, we will simply click on Reports at the top and we will be taken to the page where we can analyze our messages performance. The first thing to note here before we head into the metrics is that you need to make sure you have the correct list selected, plus the date range matches what you're looking for as well. You will then be presented with the general performance, and we will see these metrics in more detail when we click on our sent newsletter. You can also see the metrics by device, which can determine the way you do things as well. Here we can see a newsletter I've sent in the past, Introduction to English. Let's go ahead and click on it. The most important metric here is the click rate, which in simple terms represents in percentage how many people clicked on your message. Of course, that if you have no clickable elements on your newsletter and it is purely informative, you will then want to pay more attention to the open rate. All the metrics here have an explanation next to them and you should go through them on your own time. At the top, you can click to see the recipients and their actions. But what I really want to show you here is the tab Opens and Clicks. In this tab, you can resend the message to people who didn't open it. Just by clicking on Didn't Open, this will allow you to send the message to subscribers who didn't open this message. Plus, it is a way for you as a free user to use segments. It won't be saved as a segment, but you can do this to any other message. Moving to the bottom, we have my favorite part, which is the click map. Here you will see every URL that was clicked, plus you can click on your newsletter and see it as a heat map, being blue, the least clicked URL, and red, the most clicked. You can see in this example that people only clicked on my Facebook page and nowhere else. This is an extremely helpful tool, as you'll be able to understand where exactly people are clicking, and you can adapt your message based on that knowledge. This tool is also completely free. Heading back, you can see that there are other tabs with more information. I won't be going over them, but feel free to check them in order to understand each metric. On the left, you'll also see other pages, and you can click through in order to see your autoresponders metrics, for example, or more advanced ones in e-commerce or product recommendations. Don't forget that you can always contact us via email with any of your doubts by going to the top or via live chat if you get access to premium features. Let's now go back to the dashboard and get ready for the latest part of the video, as we will explore automation. While on a free account, you'll be able to design a whole automation workflow so that you get all your scenarios ready before acquiring a paid plan. To get to automation, we simply have to click on Tools and then Automation. We will then just follow up by clicking to create an automation workflow. Here you can see many of the templates we have, and you can pick any of them, but for this example we will be starting from scratch. We will actually build a workflow that will resend a message to people who did not open our previews. In other words, it's the exact same thing that we explored while in the reports, but done automatically. Before we dive any deeper, it's important to differentiate automation from autoresponders. While an autoresponder can only be triggered by a subscription, automation is much more complex and allows you to design all sorts of scenarios based on specific events, as for example a message being opened or clicked. Now that we've got this out of the way, I want to show you how to target these people that didn't open a certain message that we've sent. For this scenario, we will use the condition message sent. As you can see, it was added to the workflow already, and this editor, like the others, is just drag and drop. It is very easy to use, as you already know. You might need to disable the interactive tutorial to move freely, or go through it before going forward in this video. Since we are up here, let me explain the navigation. You have back and forth in history, similarly to other editors that we have seen, and then the gear icon, which allows you to name your workflow plus setting a start and end date. This is very helpful for limited time promotions as Valentine's Day. Lastly, you have the option to save and publish, exit, and well, you know the drill by now. Just to explain a little further, on the right you can see the conditions, and you always need to start with one of those, as you need a condition to be met in order to trigger an action. We then have actions and filters. They can be used in multiple ways, but the important part here is that you start with a condition and then follow up with an action or filter. You can also use a condition after another condition, and you will see in this example how we use it as well. In our example, we started with message sent. This means that our contacts will enter the workflow once I've sent a specific message. You can see here that I can select my existing one. Just to consider that this condition will only work for messages sent after the workflow is published. It doesn't work backwards, meaning that in this situation you would have to send a message again in order for the workflow to start. You can then follow up with another condition, message opened, and here we also select the same newsletter. Once you click on the element, you will see its settings on the right. On the option where you see the time, this simply means when the contacts will assume the negative path, which is the red one. So far, this simply means that everyone I've sent a message, the ones who open, will take the left side, green path, and the ones who don't will take the right one. For the green path, I'll follow with a tag action. This will help me identify the most engaged contacts, and we can later on segment people by this tag. For the red path, I'll follow with a send message action and the condition message opened in order to identify if they will open the second message. We will then finish it by tagging the ones that open the message and by tagging the ones who don't open the message as well. This will give you a better overview on the quality of your list. You'll then should follow up by just saving and exiting at the top. And well, once you acquire a paid account, you can simply publish the workflow and start sending messages so that you will trigger this workflow. And remember, this example is meant to just illustrate how you could replicate the situation in reports in an automatic way. And like you can do in this one, you can replicate many scenarios and automate your whole business. You now should understand how automation works and be able to design your own workflows based on your needs as well. And that's it, folks. Also, if you are unsure about which plan you should be upgrading to, consider the following. The email marketing plan is ideal for those of you who are getting started, no need for massive automation yet. You can get your own website, forms, configure autoresponders, and well, as you know, that's already a lot of work done without a single line of code. Then you have marketing automation. As the name implies, you already know your business needs and desperately need to segment and target contacts automatically based on certain actions, as for example a purchase being made. E-commerce marketing is the plan that you should be on if you already own a store with a major e-commerce provider as Shopify, PrestaShop, Magento, and others. With this plan, you'll be able to manage your business from one place, as you can build everything from abandoned cart emails to product recommendations, have access to advanced metrics, and all that without the need to code anything once more. Lastly, look out for Max Square if you are in need of something customized and would like personalized help to get set up. Thank you for going through the steps with me. I hope I made your life a little bit easier today. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.